How's it going, everyone? It's Leo here. So in this video, I'll be basically giving like an update to my Robinhood account that I showed around a week ago, maybe two, and just basically going over how my stocks have been doing, which stocks I'm investing in, and more or less just the performance overall. So here you can see exactly how much I have invested right now overall. When I click on this here, you could see I put in $5,525. And as you know from the last video, that slowly growed until at this point, I was only investing 1,000. From here on, that's when I really put the other 5,000, and that's when it really started making a difference in my earnings. Here is when I started running into some trouble because it slowed down a little bit, as you see, and then I had a major bad time there. It just dropped aggressively from 10.86% to 4%, so a little bit over 5% it dropped for me. Then it picked up a little bit yesterday, and today was a little bit better as well. I'll basically go over why that happened and how I did to recover from it, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So I already went over everything about the news articles, the Bitcoin stuff, basically how to use Robinhood. So let me walk into the specifics. These are basically just notes I use for when it comes to investing in Robinhood. Setting auto sell for 4% higher. That's basically setting a limit sell. Because sometimes I'm not even mindful and it shoots up maybe 5 or 6% in a couple like hours and I'm not there to see it, and then it drops back down. I've already witnessed that with a couple stocks and I'll show them later. Just being conscious when it's at a 2% profit, and then I'll sell it at a 3%, but I'll keep in mind anywhere from 2 to 3% that I'll probably sell, but at 3 I wouldn't mind cashing out and selling at that point. Obviously being mindful of patterns, selling all stocks over 2% at 2 p.m. Since I'm not a pattern day trader yet, since I don't have the $25,000 invested, I like to cash out all my profits, well, any substantial profits at the end of the day, so I could reinvest that money into another stocks and then have that count as my next day, and basically just repeat the process so I could have movement every single day. Then same thing, just all stocks at 2 p.m., over 1% at 3 p.m. I've had a couple stocks where I've held on to them about 3 days because they just dropped after I bought them, and that's just a headache when you have stocks that went down and then they're not really producing you any money until they shoot back up. So once they shoot back up, I just get rid of them and cycle them back out into new stocks. So I use the Thinkorswim platform as well. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but I'll show that later in another video where I talk about, or I'll look at basically SMA, upward patterns, always investing with upward patterns, maybe even a downward that's showing an upward like a swing trade, the amount of volume a stock will have, an RSI indicator, seeing basically if it's being overbought or oversold, and then just looking at the pattern where it comes to support and resistor levels in the past. Yeah. Let me go back into Robinhood. So I could tell you straight off the bat, Disney is the first time that I invest in Disney, and thought it would go a little bit better. It hasn't. It dropped a little bit after I bought it at 111.32, which I considered a good price, but it kind of just kept selling off after that point. But knowing Disney is probably going to shoot back up at some point, probably tomorrow or the day after, but I'm not really too worried about that. I'm sure that'll come back. So I have invested in Twitter, 34 shares, Tiffany, 13 shares, Ford, McDonald's, Apple. This is Alexion Pharmaceuticals. I bought them today. Then Starbucks, Merck. This is therapeutics. It's a pretty good company. Then SiriusXM, JD.com. We have Coca-Cola. So now this is where I made the mistake. The infamous DGAS. So I went in on DGAS at 104 simply because I wasn't using the Thinkorswim platform to really do my analytics before I went into the purchase, and I saw that the SMA line, the moving average, was way under what it was actually at. This was the day I bought it basically. Yeah, it was like around that time. Let me see here. trying to find out where it was that I did that. Yep, it was around here on the 11th. I saw it was going down and down and down, and I had a feeling this would be like a good moment to like swing trade, because for some reason, due to the way it's been in the past, I thought it would just kind of correct itself and shoot back up, but that really wasn't the case, and it just kept shooting down after that point, just right here, and then it just fell off a cliff, and it just kept on rolling and tumbling down all the way down to $50. You can't even see it there, but let me go to today. There we go. Pre-market hours, I remember waking up and seeing $59. Now let me show you how much of a loss this one has been so far at 71. Yep, $298. Thankfully, I've been making pretty good trades overall with all my other stocks, and I'm still in the green throughout my whole investments. Let me show you here. I'm still up $400, but imagine that, due to that one stock, I'm up 400 instead of 700, just because of that one stock. And that was just because I didn't really take the time to do enough research and really know what I'm getting into before I did. So I'm basically just gonna hold on until DGAS, until probably 80, 85, and I'll just cut my losses and then keep the momentum going from there. But something that I was doing before was, well, you can't really tell here, but I had 9 shares and I bought at 104. So I like to go in at around $1,000 per stock, so I could have substantial, I guess, gains. So if it's 1%, 2%, I'm looking at a $10, $20 return per day per stock. So I kind of switched it up because I realized, with the example of DGAS and some other companies, like, let me show you Tiffany. I went in at $86.94, and that was like all the way back here. I went in around there, and I've just held on to them for such a long time, and they haven't been producing anything. I haven't had any momentum due to them. I know Tiffany's gonna come back up. It's a pretty good company, but my money's just basically sitting there doing nothing. Well, there were plenty of other stocks that I could have gone into. So the way I switched up my strategy was that now, well, see, that strategy was still used with Disney, Twitter, Tiffany, and then DGAS. Since then, I actually switched it up, and now I'm going in 500, but on more companies where I still feel confident about, but not as confident as in to go in 1,000. But I guess this gives me more of a diverse portfolio to really be able to just pick out my winners each day and then wait for my losers to really grow, and it won't impact me as much. So I'm giving that a little run. I'm gonna see how that goes, and I'll basically keep you guys updated on basically my growth from that point on. So you can see right now I'm at 5,927. Let's see how I do, give or take a week. And then let me go here. There. I haven't updated this, but these have basically been like my profits with companies that I've bought. All of these were mainly like bought one day and then sold the next day. You could see Aurora Cannabis. I don't want to get into that right now. It's pretty inflated in my opinion. Nexar Therapeutics, Noble Energy, Tesla, American Airlines, GM, Baba. You kind of see from there. It's always little gains, but those little gains add up. So far from here, it's a $600 profit from like what I've been cashing out. It's also counting referrals and stuff. That's obviously going to be affected once I deal with the DGAS and I sell from there. But that's just basically what I've been doing the past week and a half, and it's been going really well for me. So that about wraps up this video for this Robinhood update. So if you liked the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. I'll be posting more videos about investing, academic growth, and personal growth. And if you want to know anything in particular, just throw it down in the comments and I'll be sure to respond as quick as I can. Alright, thank you guys and have a great day.